The void of the Epsilon Nebula tasted like ozone and forgotten dreams. Prince Elarion of Verdantia dangled from magnetic chains that pinned his wrist to the cold alloy wall. His once lustrous emerald skin, now marred with bruises, shimmering faintly under the harsh interrogation lights. His feathery antennae, usually vibrant and expressive, drooped lifelessly against his angular face. 9 days. 9 relentless days under the merciless scrutiny of the Synod's shadow inquisitors. The artifact's location, Prince, hissed the modulated voice from beneath a hooded mask. Inquisitor Vexer, overseer of the Synod's purification squads, paced with deliberate menace. Her sleek obsidian robes swallowed the dim glow of the chamber. The other zealots remained statues still, their identical masks rendering them as faceless as the void outside. Elarion lifted his head, his golden eyes piercing through the pain. Verdantia will never yield to your false gods. Not while hope endures. That, Vexer retorted, drawing a silence from her sleeve, is a fleeting illusion. The weapon crackled with ethereal energy, and Elarion steeled himself for another torrent of psychic torment. 9 days, and Israel remained unbroken. But how much longer? Verdantia was the final sanctuary of the Luminal Accord, the last refuge against the Synod's fanatical crusade. Your grace, Vexer's tone dripped with mock reverence. Why cling to a shattered pact? The Accord crumbles. Verdantia stands isolated. Elarion's chuckle was ragged. Isolation is an illusion. As long as free minds defy your dogmatic empire. The silence hovered near his exposed torso, where his elegant silver tunic had been shredded. Noble delusion. Futile. But a tremor shook the orbital citadel. Sirens wailed as the bulkhead door imploded inward. Plumes of vapor flooded the room. From the haze erupted a barrage of kinetic slugs, lethal and unerring. For zealots crumpled before they could activate their shields. A silhouette burst through the mist, lithe and armored, with a feminine form clad in patchwork exosuit laced with neon green circuits. Her face was human, oval-shaped with olive skin, framed by long ebony hair tied in a practical braid. Her stormy gray eyes met Elarion's for a split second before she whirled, unleashing fire at Vexer, who vanished behind a force barrier. Intrusion and purification, Cell 9. Vexer bellowed into her voxlink. Mobilize all faithful. The human advanced with predatory grace, each round claiming its mark. She reached Elarion in moments, her carbine still sweeping the entrance. Prince Elarion, her voice was husky, laced with a rogue's drawl. Who the hell are you? He rasped, voice hoarse from endurance. Sera Voss. Pals call me Ghost. Exocord, Deep Space Scout. She deployed a jammer, dissolving his bonds. He slumped forward, caught in her sturdy embrace, his lean frame pressing against her reinforced plating. How did you find? Explanations after evasion. She hoisted him with surprising strength, his willowy build nestled against her side. This fortress is primed to become cosmic confetti in 10 mics. Vexer reemerged, blasting wildly. Heretic scum, both of you perish. Sera pivoted, using her body as a bulwark while countering. Her slug grazed Vexer's mask, hurling the Inquisitor backward. One truth from the zealot, Sera quipped, dashing for the breach. We'll be ghosts if we miss my ride in the next quarter hour. I've sabotaged the core nexus. Elarion gaped. This is the Synod's prime indoctrination hub, with 40,000 devotees aboard. Sera's wry smirk spoke volumes. Not anymore. They navigated halls pulsing with crimson alerts, klaxons shrieking. Sera propped him only at a vent shaft. Can you scale? Elarion drew deep, antennae twitching with resolve. I'm heir to explorers, human. Guide us. Her grin flashed genuine. Attaboy, Prince. Time to vanish. As they clambered through the station's innards, Elarion sensed the dawn of a pivotal saga. Salvation or a novel peril. Time would tell. Hostiles inbound, Sera barked as they neared docking Spire 15. A phalanx of Synod guardians barricaded her vessel, a rugged crimson freighter with scarred armor and jagged fins, echoing endless skirmishes. Elarion flattened against the girder, breath steady despite torment. That's your craft? Seems pieced from scrap and spite. The wraiths pulled me from tighter binds, Sera countered, gauging her carbine. And she's stealthier than she appears. I'll trust that if we board her. Sera eyed the prince. 9 days of agony, yet his gaze held unyielding fire. His fortitude stirred something in her, admiration, perhaps more. 10 guardians, phalanx set up. Spot 3 disruptors. She passed him a stubby pistol from her belt. Handle fire? Elarion weighed it expertly. My mother mandated all heirs master survival crafts. I ace marksmanship at 12. Note, don't irk you. Sera murmured. On signal, I pull aggro. You drop the right trio, then bolt for the airlock. Code, 8845. In you. Tailgating, Prince. She winked, disarming in its audacity. Set. Before affirmation, she vaulted out, slugs ripping. 3 guardians fell swift. Elarion glided despite wounds. His shots precise, felling foes. Klaxons persisted. A Vox droned. Alert. Nexus breach in 11 minutes. Evacuate all souls. Survivors scattered, seeking refuge. Sera exploited, advancing. Her exosuit shrugged a glancing pulse to the flank. Move, she urged Elarion, already racing to the wraith. He hit the ramp, keyed the sequence. Hatch yawned. A disruptor wielder lunged from crates, aiming a volley at the ship. Sera charged, slamming him as he discharged. The blast veered, cratering the spire wall. Elarion wheeled at the boom, pistol up. 2 snaps down flanking threats. Sera dispatched the disruptor with a knee strike, then sprinted aboard. Ignite thrusters, she commanded. A UX panel left of helm. She vanished inward. Soon, wraith drives growled, escalating to a piercing keen, reverberating the spire. Sera was mid-ramp when a pulse cinched her braid. Inquisitor Vexer loomed at the threshold, robes tattered, but aim true. Your end, infidel. The Synod will purge you to the abyss. Queue up with your deities, Sera retorted, returning fire. Her slug struck Vexer's thigh, toppling her. Aboard, Sera smacked the seal and bolted to the cockpit. Elarion buckled in co-pilot, Antini sensing the alien controls intuitively. Warm-up done, he noted. Deflectors at 70%. Sufficeth. Sera claimed helm, seizing sticks. Grip tight, Prince. Bumpy egress. Wraith rose, struts folding as Sera yawed toward the spire's force veil. Beyond, infinite black and liberty. They're locking the spire gates, Elarion cautioned, indicating grinding slabs. Routine. Also routine counter. Sera tapped armaments. Twin torps launched, shattering the lock. DIY portal. Wraith surged through, shrapnel pinging shields. The Synod's colossal indoctrination, hub sprawled aft, eclipsing constellations. Alert. Nexus breach in 8 minutes. The hub's Vox broadcast galaxy-wide. Elarion beheld the reseeding behemoth. 40,000 lives. Zealots, drones, and dogmamongers who forged the Synod's chains, Sera hardened. Same chains that scorched 4 cord realms. Same hordes that purged dissenters on Nebula Prime. I wasn't condemning, Elarion murmured. Verdantia has bled deepest under Synod's zeal. Sera's features eased. Distance imperative before. Proximity wail. For Synod pursuers detached from auxiliary spires, drives flaring as they hunted. Can Wraith evade? Elarion queried, eyeing tack hollow. Not linearly, Sera conceded, veering starboard sharp. But they ignore these plasma storms like I do. She maxed thrust, plunging toward turbulent ion clouds. Pursuers tailed, superior drives narrowing. They're arming, Elarion alerted. Sera's feral grin emerged. Prime. Let M squander ordnance. She killed mains, inertia propelling while Vector spun Wraith retrograde into the storm. Facing hunters yet retreating. Reciprocate, she nodded to guns. Elarion gripped, Wraith's batteries, lashing the vanguard. Impacts buckled its barriers. It swerved, grazing plasma, erupting in flames. Sharp aim, Sera praised, admiration genuine as she reoriented and delved stormward. Remaining hunters loosed seekers, tracking Wraith's emissions. Sera wove clouds, using bursts as decoys. 2 seekers vaporized in ions, 3rd persisted. Impact brace, she yelled, corkscrewing tight. Seeker skimmed, detonating aft on a vortex. Blast roiled the storm, 1 hunter shredded in debris. Last peeled off, fleeing to hub. Wise retreat, Sera grumbled, glancing chrono. 2 minutes till hub's nebula dust. They exited the storm, Sera vectoring escape. In lull, she appraised Elarion proper, noting welts on emerald hide, fatigue, and golden orbs. Medpack under your station, she softened. Patch those scars. Elarion assented, fetching kit. Destination? Safe harbor. A salvage depot in the Orion Drift. Refit, intel, strategy. Our strategy? Elarion arched a brow. Assumed you'd offload me at nearest Freeport. Sera scanned, aft sensors. Prince, I just branded us prime heretics. Synod forgives not, forgets less. Bonded now, like, or nay. Air response, glare bloomed on view screen. Shot front struck, jostling Wraith despite span. Adieu, 40,000 headaches, Sera whispered. Elarion viewed expanding wreckage, visage inscrutable. Harbinger of 40,000 more. The Orion Drift depot orbited like a rusted relic. A mishmash of derelict hulls, cargo pods, and salvaged modules. Once a bustling nexus for 5 hyperlanes, it waned post-Synod's purges, now haven for shadows evading holy edicts. Quaint dive, Elarion observed as Wraith neared mooring arms. His injuries mended via a ship's autosurgeon, yet shadows lingered on emerald dermis. Not scenic, but neutral ground, Sera replied, beaming birth codes. Synod lacks overt sway here. Covert? Ubiquitous. She docked Wraith at periphery clamp. Sera cycle drives down, auxiliaries humming. Supplies, data, scheme, she stated, standing. First, disguise you. 2, iconic. In Wraith's snug berth, Sera rifled a cache, yielding a shrouded mantle and a vial kit. Epidermal shifter, she clarified, unveiling applicators. Transient, potent. In these, she proffered ocular inserts. Alter iris hue. Elarion accepted, intrigued. Prepared for contingencies. Survival creed. She averted from modesty. Systems diagnostic while you adapt. Emerging shortly, Elarion's emerald tint shifted to olive, golden eyes now hazel. Antennae concealed under hood, he mimicked myriad hybrid races. Passable, he inquired. Sera lingered gaze, like one dodging alerts. They debarked, Sera in casual overcoat atop exosuit, visor low. Mooring zone buzz for cover, not throngs. Stick near, Sera hushed, entering promenade. To overseer's den first. If any gauges heat, it's Jack's. Depot innards, labyrinth of passages, bazaars, dim nooks. Air redolent of alloys, fumes, myriad species in stale recirc. Elarion flanked Sera, antennae subtly sensing environs despite hood. Midway to admin, Sera yanked him into alcove. Hand to sidearm. What? He breathed. Synod seeker probes. She nodded corridor ward, where orb drones, glided masses. Weren't prior. Elarion darkened. Swift pursuit. Too swift. Sera checked, risk comp. Pivot, public node. They threaded service ways to info booths. Sera slotted credship, pulling feeds. Blast, she muttered headlines scrolling. Accelerated. Screen blared. Heretical assault obliterates Synod sanctum. 40,000 martyrs. 15 million cred bounty for culprits. Beneath, fuzzy hollow of Sera mid-rescue, regal effigy of Prince Elarion in finery. Sanctum, Elarion bittered. Rewriting scripture. Worse, Sera scrolled. Synod invokes divine mandate on 4 systems, citing post-assault purity needs. Leveraging us for grip. Elarion's fistballed. Verdantia bears brunt. Sera yanked chip. Mobilize. Jack's risky, bounty tempts. Alternative. 1 despising Synod over fortune. Sera guided to underlevels, lights fading, paths constricting. Descended 4 strata, evading patrols twice. At last. Unassuming hatch etched with circuit glyph. Sera wrap code. Scanner protruded, green scan. ID ghost. Purpose. Refuge, intel. Self plus guest. Hatch parted to expansive vault of monitors, relays, hollow nets. Center. A female with pale synth skin, circuits tracing veins, optic lenses whirring red. Sera Voss, she greeted, tone mechanical yet affable. Anticipated your haunt. Greetings, Nyx. Sera entered, beckoning Elarion. Trouble brews. Perpetual state. Nyx's lenses zeroed Elarion. Companion. Intriguing mask, grace, but all goes pierce. Elarion stiffened. Sera gripped arm. Nyx, Accord crypt analyst pre-collapse. Now runs Premier Shadow Net across 4 quadrants. And monitored your pyrotechnics. Nyx added, screens looping hub demise. Bold decree, ghost. Not ideological, Sera asserted. Prince extraction. Rest. Exigency. Yet, Nyx to Elarion, you embody ideology. Last heir of last Accord haven. Elarion advanced. Then grasped stakes. Synod engulfs all sans resistance. Better than peers. Nyx tapped lenses. Synod's gift for defying their data harvest. She summoned Galactic Hollow, zones color-coded. Synod exploits your heresy for crusade surge, she detailed. 3 armadas vector Verdantia. Your realm, fortnight till onslaught. Elarion paled under olive guise. Our wards falter, gain such might. Sans Accord armada. Armada not vanished. Nyx countered, hollow shifting. Dispersed, disheartened. Sera scrutinized. Tracking Accord remnants? Those uncaptured. Nyxla points. Corvettes, cruisers in voids or fringes. Few battleships, and this, zoomed to pulsing SIG in wild space. Dreadnought valiant. Commodore hails command. Hail endures. Elarion exhaled, spark igniting. Skeletoned, impaired, but I. Sera arms folded. Contact feasible? Scattered, they fragment en route. Unless, Nyx sly, victory sent lures. Hollow swapped to Synod flagship skims. The Oracle, lead armada to Verdantia. Houses divine algorithms directing sector forces. Single choke, Elarion grasped. Exact. Cripple Oracle. Armada fragments, reverting manual, Synod hierarchs inept therein. Sera eyed skims. Approach how? Intriguing part. Nyx proffered data shard. Codes for Synod resupply drone to rendezvous in 5 days. Plus IDs, suiting our outlaws, minor tweaks. Sera claimed shard, meeting Nyx's lenses. Risk yours why? Watch Synod devour my safeguards years. Nyx's lenses dimmed. Time to act beyond watch. The Synod resupply drone hauler was as drab as nomenclature implied. Boxy, functional hull crammed with relics, doctrines, components for armada nearing Verdantia. In tight crew hold, Elarion tugged, Synod acolyte garb. Rigid white cloth chafed. He tinted hair silver, added dermal pads, softening angles. Fit? He queried, facing Sera. She donned like garb, skin now ashen by Nyx's mods. Braid-style monastic, inserts turning gray eyes violet. Like every pious drone irking me, she smirked, point precise. 5 days since Nyx. Prepping, Synod rites drill, Oracle layout study, ID rehearsal. 5 days confined, forging unspoken bond. Year finale, Elarion said, mission focused. Open faux relic case, modular arms, charges, jammers masked as holy tomes. Nyx's data solid, Sera noted, boot pistol check. True pilgrims rerouted as foretold. Hope remainder accurate. Elarion sealed case. Weave hours aboard, Oracle pre-cover blow. Box chimed. Hauler, Oracle oversight. Clear berth 5. Send manifest, pilgrims. Sera to console, beaming forged litanies. Tense hushed, then, verified. Berth 5, hauler. Blessings aboard Oracle. Elarion breathed. Barrier 1 surmounted. Drones auto-docked to colossal Synod flagship. Viewport. Oracle loomed spire-like, adorned turrets gleaming under stellar rays. Daunting intimate, Sera whispered. Mass not all. Elarion lightened. Core reach. Deploy Nyx's plague to algorithms. Hauler clamped with thud. Equalize hiss. Locks green. Performance, Sera said, shouldering tone back. They emerged to Acolyte with scroll pad. Brother Superior. Acolyte to Elarion, curt bow. Right not calendared till cycle next. Elarion weary, cleric tone. Edict shift, brother, specially pre-crusade. Hierarchy demands peak sanctity. Acolyte appeased. Indeed, superior. Escort to sanctum rites. Unneeded, Sera smooth. Layout standard, yes? I sister. Though purity mandates, Elarion low confide. Right encompasses sacred variances. Direct from apex. Comprehend. Classified hint magic. Acolyte rigid, shunning entangle. I, superior. Credentials, grant access. Vox, if requisite. Alone in passage, they strode assured, belonging pilgrims. To service elevator, shunning mains. All go core. 7 straight up, axial, Sera murmured, pad with scams. Elevator yawned, empty. Entered, Elarion selected. Smooth thus, he quiet as ascent. Sera focused. Trial ahead. Elevator halted premature, Two straight shy. Doors, Synod prelate with ornate sigils, stout elder with vocal implant buzzing. Halt conveyance, he commanded boarding. Sera, Elarion aside, deferent bows. Prelate's implant scanned. Unfamiliar. Brother Superior Kane, Eminence, Elarion fluid. Purity right team. This Sister Lyra. Prelate's I squinted. Right? Unnotified. Urgent decree, Eminence, Sera offered. Verdantia crusade nears. Apex wants sanctity assured. Prelate pondered. Implant hummed on Sera's face. You resonate known, sister. Sera poised, hand nearing concealed. Serve manifold shrines, Eminence. Pads cross perchance. Elevator hit prelate's floor, doors open. Moment tense, he eyed. Perchance. Exited. Proceed. Doors shut, duo exhaled. Narrow, he whispered. Overly. Sera agreed. Prelate dubious. Accelerate. At level, hurried passages, averting gazes. All go core guarded by Purity Gate, two sentinels. I didn't. One demanded approach. Elarion proffer forged. Purity right. Access to adjacent vents for vulnerability scan. Sentinel scan, brow furrow. No logged sanctity here. Not sanctity, Sera patient. Divine audit. Core vents evaluated for heresy ingress. Sentinel hesitant. Verify with overseer. By all means, Elarion maintain cleric. Though Archprelate Thorn might disdain interruption mid-sermon. Authorized personal. Name drop effective. Sentinels glanced, neither risking. Advance, first said aside. Vents soul. Core restricted. Assured, Elarion. Vents only our concern. Passgate. Found service hatch per nix. Link to parkour duct. Shield me. Elarion whispered kneeling hatch. Sera blocked view while work. Soon open. Narrow crawl. Gentlemen precede. Sera grim grin. Elarion slipped. Sera followed. Resealing. Duct dim. Emergency glow. Tight crawl. 300 paces for. Terminal junction to core backups, Sera said. Pad. Crawled silent. Mindful echo. After mints. Reached nexus. Conduits met small console. Here, Sera confirmed. Access divine. All goes. From bag. Interface link console. Screen lit. Synod wards. Nix's overrides best function. Elarion muttered. Sequence input. Screen red flash. Then green. Wards fallen. Inserted plague shard. Deploying, she reported. 6 minutes approximate. Elarion chrono. Aboard near 3 hours. 9 till exposure. Ample for finish. Retreat to hauler, Sera said, conviction wavering. Console soft B progress. Abrupt warning. Heresy sensed. Auxiliary barrier active. Can override? Elarion urgent. Attempting, but siren ship wide. Red pulses induct. Alert, Vox blared. Unsanctified breach in divine systems. All faithful to vigilance. Abort, Sera reached pistol. Elarion shook. Deploy at 65%. Leave, vein all. Footfalls echoed beyond duct. Teams rallying. 75%. Elarion reported, brow sweat. Duct entry clang distant. Beam swept. Contact and sanctity duct, 8C. Voice. Advancing purge. 85%. Elarion hushed. Near. Sera positioned betwixt Elarion and advance. Pistol ready. Complete. I stall. Deploy done, Elarion announced. Unlink. Plague spreads. Survive for efficacy. First sentinel induct. Armed. Halt. Limbs visible. Elarion fired. Wall near. Duct force. Alternate exit. Sera examined nexus. These vents link airtist. Reach, perhaps. More sentinels. Stun pulses zipping. Cover, Elarion said, holstering to pry vent seal. Sera suppressive. Aiming near not at. Escape, not slaughter. Seal yielded groan. Open. Elarion called. Enter. Sera last shot. Dove vent. Elarion sealed as pulses hailed prior spot. Ship bucked, slamming vent walls. What? Sera gasped. Vox, faithful to arms. Hostile vessels ingress. Accord patterns detected. Elarion, Sera locked eye shock. The Armada, he whispered. They rally. Nix, Sera realized. Contacted post apart. Impact rocked. Vent grown stress. Plague works, Elarion said. Their divine defenses falter. Continued vent. Elarion's skim memory guide. Tense mints. Reach great near auxiliary drone bay. Elarion peered. Passage vacant. Red glow. Clear. Drop passage. Arms ready. Ship shuttered impact. Drone bay 4. Elarion led. Rounded bend. Froze. Prelate vocal implant stood bay entry. Grand cannon aimed. Sensed anomaly. He buzzed. Implant red glare. Infamous Ghost Voss. Prince Elarion of Verdantia. Synod beatifies my capture. Elarion, Sera hand slow rise. Grips loose. Vessel assailed. Eminence. Elarion calm. Accord rallies. Yield. Spare blood. Prelate shortled. Feeble defiance. Crush them. Verdantia purified. Accord extinguished. Air. Sera step. Synod's unchallenged era ends. Minds awaken galaxy-wide. Minds. Prelates neared. Worms neath heel. Ship lurched fierce. Prelate staggered. Elarion, Sera synced. He cannon shot while Sera tackle ground. Prelate strong. Implant buzz disorient pulse. Dazing Sera. Augmented fist jawed Elarion. Sprawling. Sera fired, but Prelate's shield deflected. Boots secondary. Aimed Elarion. Sera recovered. Leg sweep. Shot ceiling scorch. Grappled floor. Match till Elarion joined. Pistol, but implant spark. Malfunction howl. Sera final strike. Unconscious. Solid synergy. Panted. Weapon retrieve. Not concluded. Elarion bay doors. Inside. Drone rose. Sirens blare. Bay empty. Faithful battle called. That. Sera's sleek interceptor. Swiftest. Boarded. Elarion helm. Sera seal. Systems online touch. Unsanctified launch AUX Bay 4. Comp announced. Purity locks engage. Not long. Elarion muttered commands. Plague compromises too. Bay door stubborn. Manual needed, Sera reported. Console yawn. Elarion cursed. Close so. I'll. Sera rose. No, Elarion arm. Dangerous. I. Eyes met, unspoken heavy. Pilot needed, she soft. And I need you endure, Prince Elarion. Protest she kissed, brief, fierce. Promise, farewell. Sera, hold. But gone, out interceptor, sprint console. Elarion watched helpless, she initiated. Doors parted, battle beyond. Oracle versus Accord crafts, beams lacing void. Sera finished, turned. Eyes met distant, smile emerald lips. Wait his. Doors froze half. Faithful surge bay, arms up. Launch. Sera yelled, pistol fire cover. Elarion hesitated, beat. Engines. Craft lifted, squeeze gap, hull scrape, free space. Return for you, promise silent. Oracle loomed, guns Accord not small craft. Plague worked, all goes down, comms chaos. Elarion course nearest Accord, hail. Accord vessel. Go Sera Voss? No. Prince Elarion in purloined Synod interceptor. Doc urgent, intel critical, rescue imperative. Commodore Hale is recalled. Broad, weathered, beard streak gray, eyes battle-hardened. Valiant's command deck buzzed Cord versus Synod fleet. Your plague excelled. Hale tactical hollow. Synod crafts erratic. Nix hailed 3 days prior plan. Audacious, effective. Unfinished, Elarion pointed oracle. Sera Voss aboard. Extract essential. Hale hardened. Mission disrupt, Synod Verdantia advance. Achieved. Rescue vital, Elarion cut. She's Verdantia heir? No, catalyst all. More, reason worked. Hale studied. You cherish her? Affirm not query, Elarion. Yes. Hale slow not. Retrieve then. On oracle, Sera before grand hierarch Vorn, wrist bound, stands defiant. Hierarch sanctum quaked Accord strikes versus failing shields. Disruption profound, heretic, Vorn calm despite. Impressive admit. Surrender armada, hierarch, Sera, and pre-more fall. Born soft laugh. Captured, demand. Synod prizes order. Strife disordered. That tells Synod council when query flagship loss, Verdantia failure. Hierarch turned viewport battle. Aid mutual perchance, ghost. Synod values harmony above. Pre-response, ship violent rock. Claxons. Hierarch, officer Vox. Breaches sectors 8 to 10. Accord borders. Vorn cracked. How shields pierced. Plague, Sera smile. Not just targeting. Hierarch sidearm, at Sera. Hostage excellent. Think nay, door voice. Elarion there, Accord assault suit, rifle Vorn. Behind, Accord trooper secure hall. Arm down, Hierarch Elarion. Vessel forfeit. Vorn trigger tight. Step ghost dies. Ghost, Sera calm, not helpless. Fluid drop. Sweet Vorn legs taught her day's wraith. Shot wide, Elarion on, disarm efficient. You well. Elarion cut bonds, trooper secure hierarch. Better, eyes meet. Returned. Ever will, promised. Accord fleet, swollen hidden craft sector, encircled crippled Synod forces. Valiant's deck, Commodore Hale accepted grand hierarch Vorn surrender, halting Synod Verdantia campaign. Beginning mere, Hale officers. Synod grips, vast galaxy. Today, defeatable shown. Elarion rear deck, Sera side, hand his, fingers lace. Now she quiet. Now rebuild, she. Accord not craft stations. Idea, world species united equals. Work heavy. Elarion smiled. Offer aid, ghost. Go where you prince. Though politics, not forte. Need scouts, diplomats equal. Serious. Synod not light defeat. Retaliate. Let come. Elarion confidence drew her. Shown possible united. Commodore Hale neared. Moment break. Grace, Verdantia. Mother speak wishes. Elarion nod. Thanks, Commodore. Follow Hale. Sera hand longer. Should scarce convo. Unsure queen field daughter? No. Son human scout. Mother, Elarion mischief smile. Accept air path chooses, companion's own. Leaned, kiss brief tender. Stay near, ghost. Not done you. 7 months post. Verdantia royal groves fragrant myriad blooms. Capital restored post Synod fail assault, grandeur. Secluded glade, from functions rebuild. Elarion Sera hand. Accord now 19 systems. Elarion reported, hand her subtle belly swell. Daily more Synod shed, and, Synod fractured. Hierarchy debates response victories. Some war total. Others negotiate sea end. Sera nodded, thumb circles hand back. Us. Council news how? Air carries human child. Consternation initial, but mother reminded new eras new thoughts. Laugh soft. Besides, scans confirm child hail, blend perfect worlds. Elarion hand over her stomach. Never envisioned. Post-accord fall, surviving mere, scouting, unknowing else. Now fight for. Someone. Leaned, kiss tenderness surprised her. Too soon. Chime soft, Sera calm, incoming. Synod envoys arrive. Sigh. Duty. Want there? Elarion asked, new answer. Always, though glare less Synod reps. Peace aim, recall. Best behavior, promised Ghost Corinne. You little one. Walk palace, Verdantia's dual moons, silver light, rebuilt city. Crafts dozen world sky. Not war, trade alliance. No, Elarion thoughtful, breached Synod hub rescue you. Never expect galactic pact restart. Never expect rescuer mother child, co-builder new accord, Elarion replied. Life surprises. Surprises speak. Elarion stopped. Knee drop. Pocket. Band Verdantine crystal earth emeralds inlay. World traditions differ, but Verdantia, this. Sera eyes wide. Hand mouth. Ghost Sera Voss. Elarion steady despite heart pound. Marry? Not politics alliances. Love more thought possible. Tears gray eyes. Yes. Thousand yes. Slipped ring. Rose embrace. Cheers nearby terrace. Turn see Queen Lyra. Commodore hail. Dozen allies smiles broad. Their whole? Sera asked. Cheeks flush. Apparently, Elarion laughed. What another way? Story always audience. Story, Sera echoed. Close hold. Sound like. Above, accord craft ceremonial pass. Trail sky paint celebration future neither imagined reckless human female rescued tortured alien prince. Found on redemption process. 7 months later, the gardens of Verdantia's royal palace bloomed with a myriad of exotic flowers, their petals shimmering under the light of the twin moons. The capital had been rebuilt after the Synod's failed assault, now grander than ever, with towers entwined with living vines and streets blending technology and nature. In a secluded arbor, far from diplomatic functions and reconstruction efforts, Elarion and Sera walked hand in hand. The Accord Alliance now spans 19 systems, Elarion reported, her free hand resting on the gentle swell of her abdomen. Each day, more break free from Synod control, and the Synod itself is fractured. The hierarchy debates how to respond to our victories. Some crave total war. Others see the omens and seek negotiation. Sera nodded, her thumb tracing circles on the back of Elarion's hand. And us? How's the council taking the news? That their heir carries a human child? There was some consternation at first, but my mother reminded them that new eras demand new thinking. She laughed softly. Besides, scans confirm the child is healthy, a perfect blend of both worlds. Elarion placed his hand over hers on her stomach. I never imagined this future. After the Accord fell, I was just surviving, scouting, not knowing what else to do. And now, I have something to fight for. Someone. He leaned down, kissing her with a tenderness that still surprised her. Soon, two someones. A soft chime interrupted them. Sera's communicator signaling an incoming message. The Synod delegation has arrived, she sighed. Duty calls. Want me there? Elarion asked, though they both knew the answer. Always, though try not to glare too much at the Synod representatives. We're aiming for peace. Remember, I'll be on my best behavior, he promised with a roguish grin. For you and the little one. As they walked back toward the palace, Verdantia's twin moons cast silver light across the rebuilt city. Ships from a dozen worlds moved through the sky above, not warships now, but vessels of trade and cooperation. You know, Elarion said thoughtfully, when I broke into that Synod citadel to rescue you, I never expected to help restart a galactic pact. And I never expected my rescuer would become the mother of my child and co-architect of a new accord, Sera replied. Life has a way of surprising us. Speaking of surprises, Elarion stopped, dropping to one knee. From his pocket, he produced a ring, a band of Verdantine crystal inlaid with earth emeralds. Our worlds have different traditions, but on Verdantia, we do this. Sera's eyes widened, her hand moving to her mouth. Go Sera Voss, Elarion continued, his voice steady despite the hammering of his heart. Will you marry me? Not for politics or alliances, but because I love you more than I thought possible. Tears glistened in her gray eyes. Yes, she whispered. 1,000 times yes. As he slipped the ring on her finger and rose to embrace her, cheers erupted from a nearby balcony. They turned to see Queen Lyra of Verdantia, Commodore Hale, and a dozen other allies watching with broad smiles. Were they there the whole time? Sera asked, her cheeks flushing. Apparently, Elarion laughed. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Our story has always had an audience. Our story, Sera echoed, holding him close. I like the sound of that. Above them, Accord ships performed a ceremonial flyover, their contrails painting the sky in celebration of a future neither could have imagined when a reckless human woman came to rescue a tortured alien prince and found her own redemption in the process. But the festivities were short-lived. 3 days after the proposal, amidst preparations for a wedding meant to symbolize Accord unity, an urgent signal shattered the morning calm of the palace. Elarion and Sera were in their private quarters, discussing ceremony details, when Queen Lyra's communicator activated with a priority message from Nyx. Your Highness, Nyx's voice, usually calm and mechanical, now vibrated with urgency. I've intercepted encrypted Synod transmissions. They haven't accepted defeat. A strike is coming, not open war, but covert. Agents are already en route to Verdantia. Elarion froze, her hand instinctively resting on her abdomen. Details Nyx. What exactly? A flotilla of fanatics, disguised as trade vessels. Their target is the artifact you guard, Prince. The one powering Verdantia's shields. If they seize or destroy it, your world falls without a fight. Sera exchanged a glance with Elarion. The artifact, an ancient crystal, the heart of Verdantia's defenses, was what the Synod had tortured her to locate in their citadel. How much time do we have? Sera asked, already shifting into scout mode. 2 days, maximum. They're using subspace conduits to bypass Accord patrols. Queen Lyra, present on the call, nodded decisively. We'll bolster security. But if this is a covert operation, we need shadows, not armies. Elarion, Sera, you've proven yourselves in such matters. Will you take it on? Elarion stood, her gray eyes blazing. Of course, Your Majesty. But we'll need a team. And the Wraith, my ship's still in orbit. Within an hour, they were in the palace hangar, where the Wraith, now refurbished and enhanced with Verdantian tech, awaited. Sera assembled a small crew, two Verntian warriors with antennae sensitive to psi signals, and a former Accord hacker named Torin, recommended by Nyx. The plan's simple, Sera explained as they lifted off. We intercept them in subspace. Nyx provided the conduit entry coordinates. We hit fast, capture the leader for interrogation. Elarion, seated in the co-pilot's chair, nodded, but her golden eyes held concern. And the baby? You're sure this is safe? Sera smiled, placing a hand on hers. Medics said it's stable at this stage. Besides, I can't sit idle while the Synod threatens our future. The Wraith plunged into hyperspace, its crimson hull shimmering in the starworld. Hours later, they emerged at the subspace conduit entrance, a hidden rift in reality's fabric, known only to the initiated. Signals ahead, Torin reported from the console. 5 vessels, masked as traitors. But scans show Synod weaponry. Approach cloaked, Sera ordered. Activate stealth. The Wraith vanished, its hull absorbing radar. They closed on the lead ship, a bulky freighter bearing a neutral trade guild's emblem. Docking, Sera whispered. We go in quiet. They lashed onto an emergency airlock, Torin hacking the seals. Inside, the ship was eerily silent, save for the hum of engines. The Synod crew, fanatics in white robes with glowing implants, didn't expect intruders. The first clash came in a corridor. 2 Synod guards turned, their silences igniting. The Verntian warriors, using antennae to anticipate, fired first, neutralizing them with stun pulses. Quiet, Sera warned, leading to the bridge. But an alarm triggered. Doors locked, and neurotoxin gas, Synod's will-suppressing weapon, hissed from vents. Masks! Elarion shouted, activating filters. They blasted through a door with a charge. On the bridge stood the leader, Inquisitor Zara, a woman with pale skin and glowing eye implants, reminiscent of Vexor. You, Zara hissed, recognizing Elarion and Sera. Heretics who defiled the sanctum. Surrender, Sera replied, aiming. Your plan's exposed. Zara triggered self-destruct, but Torin hacked it in time. The fight was brief. Zara's psi attacks were countered by Verntian shields, and Sera disabled her with a precise shot to her implant. Capturing Zara, they evacuated as the other Synod ships, alerted, tried to flee. The Wraith fired, crippling their drives, and called Accord reinforcements. Back on Verdantia, Zara's interrogation revealed more. The Synod planned not only to seize the artifact, but also to assassinate key Accord leaders, including Queen Lyra. They're weakening, Nyx said via comm, but desperation makes them dangerous. This was just the first wave. The wedding took place a week later, under heightened security. Elarion, in traditional Verntian attire, a silver tunic with shimmering antennae, and Sera, in a blend of earth dress and Verntian cloak, exchanged vows beneath the twin moons. The child within Sera stirred, as if approving. But peace was fleeting. 2 months later, with Sera's belly more pronounced, Commodore Hale sent word. The Synod was mobilizing its remnant fleet for a final strike on scattered Accord systems. We need help, Hale said. Verdantia's artifact could be key. If we amplify it, it could create a galactic shield against their psi weapons. Elarion and Sera, now officially wed, led the mission to transport the artifact to the Valiant. The journey was fraught. Synod ambushes, hyperspace storms, and even a traitor in the crew, exposed by Elarion's antennae. In the climax, at the edge of an uncharted sector, the Synod fleet attacked. The Wraith maneuvered in the vanguard, Sera piloting despite her pregnancy, while Elarion coordinated side offenses. They're closing, she shouted, dodging torpedoes. Elarion activated the artifact aboard, its energy spreading, neutralizing Synod psi attacks. The Accord fleet counterattacked, shattering the enemy. After the battle, on the Valiant's bridge, Sera felt contractions. The baby is coming. Labor occurred in the med bay, overseen by Verntian healers. The child, a girl with olive skin, golden eyes, and faint antennae, cried out, greeting the galaxy. We'll name her Arya, Elarion whispered, holding her. For a new era, Sera agreed. The Synod retreated, fractured by defeats, and negotiations began. The Accord grew, and Elarion and Sera's family became a symbol of unity. But shadows of threats lingered, a reminder that freedom demanded vigilance. Years later, Arya grew, inheriting her mother's courage and father's wisdom, ready for her own adventures. The story continued, echoing that first encounter in the Citadel, where love was born from chaos.